Welcome to Finvest Alert. Today we have amazing updates on everything financially related as usual. Just stay glued, let's jump right in. Crypto markets are calm today as Bitcoin trades sideways, while institutions quietly accumulate and traders wait for the next major catalyst.
What is next for crypto is Bitcoin Foundation Chairman Brock Pierce. Always so great to have you on the show. So look, does it have room to move higher? Where do you see this?
Well, clearly it does. And for anybody in the business, we always talk about buying the dip. It's better to be getting in at a better price point. Visa did a poll, and it showed that 43% of Gen Z are actually interested in crypto as a Christmas gift. For anyone that is still looking for ideas, this might be a good time to do that. But no, I continue to be bullish on Bitcoin. There's a number of major events that led to that all-time high. First of all, we have a crypto president, vice president, a cabinet, regulators. Bitcoin is in a very, very, very different situation as of this year than it's ever been in before. I want to talk about legislation around crypto in a minute, but first wanted to get some thoughts on some of the bold calls that are out there. Michael Saylor looking once at 13 million. Chamath Palihapitiya said maybe 500,000 this year. Other big banks are looking at 150 to 200,000 price targets. Does the extreme bullishness that alludes from those high price targets make it more of a speculative asset, or does that actually draw a real fundamental analysis into things like Bitcoin? So I'm always careful to give price predictions. Yeah. But yes, it is a speculative asset. It is highly volatile. But where those predictions come from is due to the scarcity. There's 21 million Bitcoin, and of that, a fair amount is lost and will never be recovered. But there is a limited supply. So as demand for Bitcoin increases, as adoption for Bitcoin increases, it is inevitable that the price should go higher. It's not so much a matter of if, but a matter of when. Unless some major black swan sort of event were to occur. But as we're seeing in gold, Bitcoin is effectively the digital gold, certainly as you talk to Gen Z versus boomers. But Bitcoin is here, it's here to stay. And the biggest risk factor it had was really government. Yeah. And now that the US government has taken a position, I think we're bullish for the time to come.
Real estate today shows steady demand, with buyers focusing on affordability and investors targeting rental income over quick flips.
Real estate. Home sellers retreat as buyers gain leverage, including US market. The Federal Reserve just delivered spectacular news for this under-the-radar real estate stock. Mortgage rates fall ahead of Christmas holidays. A very aesthetic person, President Trump says being a builder is his second job. So you're going to see the rest of the news here.
Startup tech apps are gaining attention today, especially AI-powered tools that automate business tasks and improve productivity.
In this episode, I go through 8 companies that you've never heard of that are making at least $50,000 a month on mobile apps. Now is the greatest time to be building mobile apps, and there are people printing doing it. I go through exactly how. How are these apps able to make so much money, and how can you copy what they're doing it and apply it to another niche? I give you tons of startup ideas in this episode, but my favorite part is actually going through 6 frameworks that I have for coming up with mobile app ideas. If this video, I saw this tweet, it said, here are the 10 apps released in the last 180 days making $50,000 per month. So today we're going to go actually break down each of these apps, and we're going to try to basically reverse engineer how are these mobile apps that are basically coming out of nowhere, that people are vibe coding, how are they able to crush it? I'm going to give you a bunch of frameworks towards the end of this episode. Actually, first what we're going to do is we're going to go through each and every one of these apps. We're going to really try to understand it. Then what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a framework, and actually a bunch of frameworks for how you can come up with your own mobile app ideas and how you can spot these things. And then at the end, I'm going to give you even more startup ideas and just hand this to you in a silver platter, because I want you to go and vibe code a mobile app in 2026 that's going to make you money. And I think that if you can look at some of these, it's gonna get you inspired. It's gonna get those creative juices flowing. So let's get right into it. The first app is an app called Flash Loop. It's an AI video generator. You can see here, I'm sure you've seen those like TikToks and Reels where it's like babies doing podcasts and stuff like that. It's basically one of those things where it's an AI video generator. If you look at the description, it says generate epic AI videos from text or images in seconds. It's powered by VO3 and Sora 2. So, just breaking down, why is this thing working? Why is this thing able to get, $50,000 a month in revenue? It's gotten 50,000 downloads worldwide in the last 30 days as well. It's just because the vanity of it all, right? People want to see themselves in characters. This is, a tale as old as time. You can see here, female Shrek, ballerina Cappuccina, like Barbie doll stuff. These things get shared a lot, and especially on TikTok, right? So how can you take this idea and build it for yourself? Like, why don't you go build this for pets? Why don't you go build this for cosplay? Why don't you go build this for, weight loss, aging, outfits? You can take the same framework for an AI video generator and just apply it to these other niches. So that's number one. Number 2 is the Bible note taker and recording app. That has gotten $60,000 in revenue in the last 30 days, 60,000 downloads as well. So what is it? Basically, it captures every sermon and prayer. So you can press one tap and it records the moment. It gives you transcriptions, smart summaries. It's basically a sermon note-taking tool. There's also like a daily Bible devotions and prayer section. Super like cleanly designed, I will say too. And this is a trend that's been picking up over the last 6 to 9 months is lock screen. They've got a lock screen widget, which I think they did a really good job at. Add daily verses to your lock screen. So
Forex markets remain active today as traders react to global economic signals, creating short-term volatility across major currency pairs.
Welcome back. As 2025 draws to a close, Malaysia is ending the year on a notably stronger footing. The ringgit has climbed to its highest level in nearly 5 years, investor sentiment has improved, and global assessments point to steadier fundamentals and clearer policy direction. In a year marked by global uncertainty from shifting interest rates to trade tensions, Malaysia's economic story has been one of recovery, credibility, and renewed confidence. And to help us understand better what's driving this momentum, I'm now joined by Dr. Carmelo Filito, CEO of the Center for Market Education and faculty member at Universitas Prasetya Mulia. Doc, as we close out 2025, the ringgit is trading near 4.04 against the US dollar, its strongest level in almost 5 years. For international viewers, how significant is this milestone for Malaysia's economy, Doc?
Hi, good morning from me, good morning from Italy, and thanks for having me. Well, I think it is an important point for external observers, but what will matter more in the future is how Malaysia will be able to keep this level in the future. Because what we have observed both in 2024 and in 2025 was an alternance of ups and downs for the ringgit, often in particular in 2024 due more to external factors and external speculation rather than the behavior of internal fundamentals. So now that the ringgit in fact has strengthened and I would say really developed its position when compared also to the regional peers, it is important for Malaysia to reassure and to keep this confidence in the next months to be able to fight for keep this level constant, because for investors and observers what is most important is not the value per se, but the stability of that value.
Now, Doc, analysts note that the ringgit's strength this year wasn't just about a softer US dollar, but also about improving domestic fundamentals. What changed most clearly in Malaysia's economic story in 2025, Doc?
I think that the softening of the dollar is an important element, and in the uncertainty of the American policy has played a role. But if we look at the situation domestically, what, in my opinion, has mattered the most is that some policies that were somehow in the air, like the rationalization of subsidies, has finally found an outcome. Maybe can be more or less than expected, but something has happened. So there is no more discussion about this, but this thing has been done, and now we know what we are dealing with.
Affiliate marketing continues to grow today, driven by AI tools, short-form video content, and performance-based campaigns.
What is the future of affiliate marketing? By 2025, the affiliate marketing landscape will focus on personalized strategies, advanced analytics, and a seamless user experience. Brands are expected to build more trust-based partnerships with affiliates while utilizing artificial intelligence and machine learning to optimize their campaigns. You can Google more on this information.
Do with these informations whatever you wish. Please subscribe to Finvest Alert channel and give it a thumbs up so that it will go viral and get to people who are in need of it.